Lovely listeners and viewers, you are back down the red rabbit hole and happy Halloween! Almost. I don't know when this is coming out, so whichever day it is that it ends up
It's
on, happy
just,
Halloween!
it's the month of
It
Halloween.
is.
You
It's
can
a
say
whole
it all
31
month.
days of
Spooky
Halloween that we are
month.
celebrating. And today
Oh,
we're going to be talking about witches and witchcraft. Lisa,
whee! I'm wearing my witch's hat. Uh,
uh, you've already admitted you
Oh, and I've
always dress
gone.
like a witch for
I've
Halloween.
gone. I've gone. I do. Yeah, it's the only costume I have, really. But what else am I going to do? Oh my gosh. Yeah, that's better. Yeah, it's the only costume I've got, and I'm too
Yeah,
tight to buy another one, so that's what I go with.
okay, that's fair
But I like
enough.
it. I mean, it's an amazing hat. The pod's not doing it justice, but go and have a look if you get a chance,
Mm.
guys.
That's,
Yeah.
it's a little sad not to put effort in each year, but okay, if you want to, if you just want to admit that you're that lazy and tight.
Just low key there, having a little
Okay.
little grumble at me about my lack of Halloweeniness. All right, sorry.
So, Lise,
Um,
what's your view on
mm.
witches? Do you think they exist? Do you think there's such a thing as magic? And
The thing is, I'm quite on the no side of all of these sort of things, aren't I? Like, no to
mm,
ghosts and yeah, trick or treating's fun for the kids. But witches are one where I kind of think that there is something in it. And I think it's that kind
ooh,
of historic, it's the feminist in me
that we
that
have a
thinks
power.
about, yeah, the historical treatment of women. I don't know. I mean, I love that book, The Power. That
Mm.
I'd love if that was true. But if I do kind of think that probably women could do more in terms of healing and helping people in the past, and that the men didn't like it, so that they invented this idea of witches, and then which led to the persecution of women across decades. I don't know how long that went on for, centuries? But
Still going on, really,
mm.
I guess. Has it
Yeah, yeah,
really
I suppose,
stopped?
yeah, well, they still call it a witch hunt, don't they, quite often if it's a female
Yeah.
who's getting kind of vindicated by something. So, yeah, yeah, so I kind of think, but I think it's probably more rather than sit around a cauldron kind of idea. I think it's probably more about connecting with and using the elements around us and the changing seasons and connections to nature and crystals and that sort of stuff that is true witchcraft.
Yeah, I would definitely be on board with that. And I think that there are certain practices that you can pass down or you can start using that will hone those skills. Because part of me is like, we only use a certain amount of our brains. So what's to say that in that other part of the brain isn't something that we've kind of shut off to survive as not just women, I think men perhaps have it too.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, there is that possibility, isn't there? And I think we don't, I think we could live a much more in tuned with nature life and the way in which we live. I think the modern world has moved far away from being alongside the earth and the natural elements that are around us. We just basically went, oh, look, oil. Woohoo!
Yeah.
We can do tons with that.
And I
Mm,
think as well, in terms of science, there's a lot of stuff that is still scientific, so to speak. It's been moved into the realms of science, which perhaps was born of magic,
mm,
as part of it just feels like it's either science and it's relatively kind of realistic and normal, or it's magic and therefore it's otherworldly and probably more of a myth and more of a lie, I guess, in
mm,
terms of what some things are. And I think some things have crossed the barriers
mm,
because there's a lot of science now. I mean, you know, 200 years ago, you flip a lighter in front of someone and they'd think you were a witch.
mm. Yeah, yeah, that's true. Yeah, I was trying to, as you were talking about, I was thinking of an example, but I couldn't really think of any. The only thing I can think of, like sound baths and things like that, and the importance of sound and what sound can do.
Mm,
The, revert and not, well, it's the vibrations through your body and stuff, isn't it? And the healing aspect of some of these things. And I suppose, like, yeah, kind of in many ways, rightly so, the medical medical scientific model of things has come in and taken over on a lot of these things. Because something like childbirth, for example, that's a kind of prime example because it was the early midwives who won't have had, the ability to look inside and check heartbeats and know everything that's going on like we can now, like midwives, and have the ability to kind of do a lot of those early births would have been based on just experience and noticing things about women's bodies and what's happening and what's going on, and would have been much more intuitive, I think. But they're also the kind of women, that who would have ended up being accused of witchcraft when it didn't
Yeah,
go right.
yeah, sad.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So there's a brings out the feminist in me to go, no, I think it does exist. I think there are witches
Well,
and wizards.
ironically, I might have to slightly disagree a little. I know you wouldn't expect that from
I
me.
know.
However, because
This is witchcraft.
I just see, that there's all like the witchcraft books like grimoires of spells and
Mm,
you know, if they were true, then everyone would be rich and everyone would be with their soulmate, and it just doesn't add up to me.
mm,
So I just kind of feel like there's a element of fiction for me as an author, I guess, that I kind of attach to that. However, there
hmm
was a documentary recently called, I think it was A Cursed Man, and it was all about this documentarian that went out into the world to find actual witches and dark magic users to curse him and to then document what happened to see whether or not he was cursed and bad things would happen to him. And the very first thing that comes up when I rented it was this film contains actual dark magic and watchers may get cursed by watching it. And I was like, oh no, I'm not taking that chance. And actually got a refund from Amazon because I was like, no one said this.
That's a gimmick. If ever I've
Well,
gimmicked the
do you,
gimmick in all
I
my
wasn't
gimmicky
willing to
life.
take the chance. So I just said, no, I
Yeah,
ain't watching
yeah.
this then. And I really wanted to see it because I wanted to see whether or not it's because they always say with curses, it doesn't work unless the person knows they're cursed because then it'll play on their mind.
Well, I want to know then. I want to talk to someone who has watched it. Any listeners or viewers out there who did watch that documentary, get in touch. Let us know. Are you cursed? We really want to know.
What sort of magic was on there? Was it any good? What happened in the
Yeah,
end?
yeah.
Who
Was it
knows?
decent?
Is he dead?
Was there any curses? I think, you said about that bit of the brain that maybe we're not using. And we talked a bit about kind of ghosts, didn't we? And buildings and things holding some energies and stuff. I think a lot of this is about energy. I
Yeah.
do, if positive people do tend to draw positive things to themselves. So if you feel unbelievably angry with someone to the point that you want to curse them,
Mm.
you're probably going to throw out some energy towards that. And if you are in receipt of that and you believe it, I think a lot of it's like mind over matter. If you believe, then I think these things can kind of happen.
Well, in terms of witchcraft, it's quite well known amongst the sort of communities, whether you're pagan or Wiccan or Satanist or whatever you identify with. Is if you put a curse on someone, it comes back on you tenfold.
Yeah.
So you got to be really certain and take the consequences and to hurt somebody. So I think that
Tenfold. Oh, well, I'm not doing
tenfold,
that then.
yeah,
Well, that's what's happened with that documentary, isn't it? They thought that was going to be massive because they cursed everybody watching it. Now nobody's
nobody
bloody
watched
watching
it,
it and they got
and
no money.
yeah, could be. Well, there you go. So
We are
witchcraft,
the Satan army, do what you want.
witchcraft. Do you think it's real then?
Not witchcraft as witchcraft, I think sort of,
Energies.
yeah,
I
energy craft.
I'm behind you on the energies because even Einstein said everything is energy and energy cannot be destroyed, only change forms. So to
Mm,
me, it's like someone that can, like, I suppose, manipulate energies would be someone who
mm,
is effectively wielding witchcraft.
yeah.
We've solved it. Next
That's
topic.
it. That's done. Anyway, guys, don't forget to follow all of the 31 days of Halloween. You can catch us on our socials, which is Facebook and Instagram and TikTok, and of course, YouTube. Pop over there. If you like it, please subscribe, give us a follow. We'd really appreciate it. And look out for more exciting happenings all across Halloween as part of our 31 days of Halloween.
Yay!
Yay!
Happy Halloween!
Happy Halloween! Bye!
Bye.